Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be talking about how you can add keywords to your Google Ads campaign. Now, when you want to start a Google Ads campaign, you need keywords. Without keywords, you can't run a Google Ads campaign. It's basically what Google Ads is built on, search intent. And so with keywords, people come to search in the Google search engine, which is displayed as result on the Google search results page, either organic or sponsored ads, but it's all based on keywords. So without keywords, we can't do anything in the Google search engine platform. And so today I'll be talking about how can you add keywords to an existing campaign. Now, when you're starting out a brand new campaign, you need keywords, like I said. But in this case, you can use the keywords you get can be based dependent on your understanding of your business, understanding of the competitors, using tools like SEMrush, SimilarWeb, Spyful, even the Google Keyword Planner, which is actually one of the best bet I always advise on how you get your keywords. So the Google Keyword Planner, you can either use your website or use a competitor website or use two or three of keywords you know your product is about or service is about, and then you can get other keywords that people are using and searching for in Google search engine platform. And so with those keywords, you can start your campaign. But now you jumping to my account, let me show how you can quickly add keywords to a campaign. So let me use this account for an example. So if you have had a campaign already running, between the first few days, usually there's something they call the search terms. If you come under Insight and Report, you have the search terms. And so under the search terms, you can see the keywords that populate from other keywords that you initially use to start your campaign. And so based on the search terms, you can add keywords. I will actually advise that this is the best way to add keywords to your campaign. And that idea will be to use tools like SEMrush, tools like Google Keyword Planner, that actually explore other keywords people are typing for your product or business. But in most scenarios, if you're already running a Google Ads campaign, the best way to go about adding keywords is to actually come to explore the search terms that has gathered as a result of the other keywords you're using to run that campaign, and then from those search terms you can make a decision on what is relevant to you. So for this particular account, we have about 6 campaigns. We have 3 campaigns running. We have the brand campaign, the generic, and then we have the search campaign that focus on Invisalign. So Bespoke Data, basically they are a dental group in the UK, and so they sell Invisalign services as well as dentistry, composite bonding, and other services related to improving the outlook and beauty of the face. And so if I speak, let's assume I go with search, the Invisalign campaign. And so in the last 30 days, and so you can always alternate based on the frequency or how long you've been running the campaign. You can decide to use the last 30 days. You can change the dates and decide to use 14 days just this month. And so it's dependent on you. But I want to use the last 30 days. And I advise that the search terms is not something you should add to a campaign. When you set up a Google Ads campaign, yeah, initially you need to monitor, you need to make changes. But one rule I will always give is don't make too many changes at once. Because if you make too many changes at once, you don't really know when the results begin to differ or when you begin to get different results. You don't really know what is causing the results to be like this. And so you don't want to make so many changes at once. You want to make a few changes based on data, then you cannot decide whether that changes had any impact on the results of the campaign. And so in this case, I've selected the Invisalign campaign, and then I want to select a particular ad group. So I have the braces, the Invisalign core, then a ad group focused on people finding about costs. So what's the cost of Invisalign? Invisalign cost near me, keywords like that. That's what the ad group targets. Then we have the orthodontist core. So people looking for orthodontists nearby, orthodontists in Manchester, orthodontists in UK, those kind of keywords are what this ad group is targeting. So if I was to use the Invisalign cost, it's good to go niche down like say you know what particular key ad group to add keywords to. So you're not just adding keywords to any ad group. So if you see in the last 30 days, we've had about 9 search terms show up for this particular ad group. And out of these 9 search terms, I have 8 already as my keywords. So with this column that says added or excluded, it lets you know whether these search terms have been added to your ad groups as keyword or not. And so for the issue of negative keywords, you can use Google Keyword Planner, SEMrush, Spyful to get keywords you can negate. But the search terms reports are that good place where you could get negative keywords that your ads is showing up for. So with those keywords that basically your ad triggers up for, shows up for, that is not relevant to you. So you cannot add them as negative keywords. For example, if I wanted to add this, although it's a relevant keyword, but if I was add it as negative keyword, I just claim select it, I have the option to add as a keyword or add as a negative keyword. So if I say click on add as a negative keyword, I have the option to add it to the ad group level, the campaign level, or to create a negative keyword list. Or if I have an existing keyword list, I could add it to that keyword list. So it shows me all the negative keyword lists I have. So but in this case, we are not doing that. So I'm going to cancel it. So I want to take another ad group, which I think we have more search terms for the last 30 days. So yes, the Ononti score ad group seem to have more search term in number than the Invisalign course. So we have about 147 keywords in the last 30 days that has triggered, rather 147 search terms in the last 30 days that have triggered, that was triggered when the keywords we're targeting was typed in Google search results page. So basically, our ads triggered basically for all these keywords in the last 30 days. So the goal is to check and see any of these keywords, which of them are relevant. So you want to check it based on clicks, impressions, and click-through rate. And so the ones that are not added to your website, there won't be any metric for click-through rate, average CPC, or other metrics like cost, conversion rate, conversions, and cost per conversion. And so these metrics will only show up for the keywords that are already added. All right, this metric will only show up for search terms that are already added as keywords in your campaign. And so the other ones won't have those metrics, but the other ones will have the impression metrics and the clicks metrics. And so usually I prefer to use clicks because clicks show intent that somebody actually is interested in what you're selling. So I use clicks, so I filter by click from the highest to the lowest using a descending order. And so these two keywords, they've been added already. They have the highest number of clicks. This one, so I could add it because it had three impression and three clicked. So it's 100% click-through rate. So it shows the intent and also the cost is not that much. So I could add this keyword. For that to add it, I just highlight it, I click on add as a keyword, and then I add it, I click on save. But when you're adding as a keyword, I must let you know that if you are using phrase match or exact match in your keywords, make sure that when you're adding the search terms, you ensure you also wrap it. So for exact match, we use this bracket to wrap it. And if you're using phrase match, you use semicolon apostrophe around it to add it as phrase match. So most times when you click on, you select the search terms you want to add as keywords, they are naturally broad match. So they're basically added as broad match. So you want to make sure you're not adding them as broad match because if you add them as broad match, it may mess up your whole campaign and mess up what you're trying to accomplish. So when you select those search terms, you want to make sure you are using the keyword match that you have been using before. So if you wanted to use exact match, you have been using exact match keyword in your campaigns, you want to ensure you use exact match. If you want to add it as phrase, ensure you use phrase match. But on the default settings, those keywords, when you select them, they are broad match. And so if you just click on save without looking at that and adding the match type you want, it will just be added as broad match. And so your campaign may begin to spend and you begin to get a lot of keywords and a lot of clicks that are not really relevant since you're adding it as broad match. Broad match keywords do work for um, accounts that have small budget, but then you have to be very careful how you go about it. Because broad match do give good results, but then, like I said, you have to be careful about how you want to go about it. So usually when you're starting a campaign, even as you continue the campaign, usually advisable you start with exact match, phrase match. Basically, keywords that you make people click on your ad, and when they click, they're actually going to convert. So you don't target targeting things that are too broad. So broad match is usually not advisable or to start a campaign. But as you proceed in the campaign, you get some good results. You could use broad match based on your understanding and how you feel to get you the results you're looking for. And so I'll add this keyword, I'll add the keyword. Then I just have orthodontic. So it could be a mismatch, so it could also be a good keyword. Braces private. So you just go through it one by one. Usually this should just take you about 30 minutes to an hour, depending on what you want to do. So you go through it and quickly add the ones that you feel are relevant. So in the cases whereby the clicks, there's no clicks on the others, you can come and filter by impressions and see those with the highest impressions. So based on the impression, you can decide to add not just the impression, based on also the search term you need, because search term is different from keyword. The way it's interpreted is quite different. So you really need to understand those search terms to know whether you should add it as a keyword or not. It's not all search terms that should be added as a keyword, because at times the interpretation is completely different and the way it's used when it's added as a keyword differs from how it is when you see it as a search term. So you want to be careful when you are going through this. So the ones that you feel are not relevant, that you don't want your ad to show up for, you select all of them and you add as negative keyword, either to this ad group level or as a negative to a negative keyword list, which you can apply to this ad group level. Or if it's relevant to your whole campaign, you can add it to the whole campaign. So when you're done with this ad group, you can come to the next one, click on it, do the same for the other ad group. And so the search terms report, something that when the campaign is fresh, because basically you start with a few keywords, and so once the campaign has started running, let's just say for about a few days to a week, the search term report will populate with search terms that are relevant to your campaign and relevant to the ads you are running. And so you can now go into the search term and pick relevant keyword. But after the campaign has run for a while, and you've added the adequate number of keywords you need, the search term report is something you should be looking to, let's say every 3 months, every quarter. You could look into the search term report and see what keywords you can add to improve your campaign. So let me know if this is clear and if you have any topic you want me to create a video on. Thank you once again. See you in the next video.